Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Greg Sloop, and it's time for Live at 5 on this Thursday, October 31st, 2024. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I know a lot of people are going to be out and about this evening. Be safe, be aware of your surroundings, be careful, and just if you're going to be out, have fun, but don't get in trouble. We are so thankful to be able to take this time to talk about another one of the well known passages or scriptures in the Old Testament. We're up to Numbers chapter 17, verse 1. A few verses here about a miracle that happened where God spoke to the people of God again to help them find their way to the plan and purpose of God. They drifted very often, and God had to come on the scene and help them figure out where they were drifting and how to get back where they needed to be. In this case, it involves Aaron and his authority rather than Moses. Let's just read the story and see what interesting things we'll find. 17:1 of the book of Numbers. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and get from them a rod from each father's house, all their leaders according to their father's houses, 12 rods. Write each man's name on his rod. And you shall write Aaron's name on the rod of Levi, for there shall be one rod for the head of each father's house. Then you shall place them in the tabernacle of meeting before the testimony, where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose will blossom. Thus I will rid myself of the complaints of the children of Israel, which they make against you. So Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and each of their leaders gave him a rod apiece. For each leader, according to their fathers' houses, 12 rods, and the rod of Aaron was among their rods. And Moses placed the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. So here God has said, I'm going to show which one is truly the spiritual leader, the religious leader of the nation. I'm going to make that clear. I'm going to give everybody an understanding of what it is that I planned and purposed for Israel to be. Verse 8. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron of the house of Levi had sprouted and put forth buds, had produced blossoms, and yielded ripe almonds. Wow. The day before it was just a rod in the hand of Aaron, but the next day it was alive, it had buds and blossoms and even nuts growing on it. Then Moses brought out all the rods from before the Lord to all the children of Israel, and they looked, and each man took his rod. And the Lord said to Moses, looks like God's already spoken, but here he is speaking again to Moses. Bring Aaron's rod back before the testimony to be kept as a sign against the rebels, that you may put their complaints away from me, lest they die. Thus did Moses, just as the Lord had commanded him, so he did. So the children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, Surely we die, we all perish, we perish. Whoever even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord must die. Shall we utterly all die? And Moses, we'll talk about it tomorrow, gives them the utter end of what God's plan is for this particular story. But in this story, it is so amazing that God proved who his chosen leader was. And as I've said all this week, we need to understand that when God places a leader over a church, over a ministry, over an area, a region, a country, we need to trust God. And if God put them in place, sometimes men get ahead of God. I understand that. But if God puts a leader in place and you don't like their style, you don't like their spouse, you don't like the way they wear their clothes, you need to be sure that you're not fighting against God and God's will and purpose and plan, because that could be rough. That could be terrible. It could be a place where you might feel like these Israelites. Are we about to all die because we fought against the plan of God? Don't put yourself on the opposite side of God. Trust God, follow God, do what God says, and we'll all be blessed and be better off on the other side. Good to see several people on with us today. Justy Brown, Rafi, I have to disagree with you. Quran is not the only word of God. We believe in the Bible. So God bless you for being on here with us, but I'm telling you, Jesus is the way. And any of the rest of you who hop on here today, tonight, tomorrow, whatever time of day or night, we're always glad to have you with us. And it's our honor and privilege to bring you this short piece of the Word of God and to talk about it and to elaborate on it here each day, Sunday through Friday. So we'll be here tomorrow, but not Saturday, and we'll be back on Sunday evening. Spend some time with God every day in the Word of God and prayer. It's the best thing you'll do all day, and it will change your surroundings wherever you might be. Please know we're praying for you, and I look forward to seeing each of you again tomorrow.